damn this explosive beast coast. Yeah. The mother ride or die for my strictly for my survival of the fittest. That's the sign of the police. I'm in deep cover earth, skirt, lean back. Give me one more chance. They say Jesus walks and the devil wear Prada, but I'm so deaf. God can't tell me nothing. Right there's on my death certificate. I gave you power. 21 questions like who? The warning. Watch them flashing like paparazzi. Two words. Get money. Tonight's the night. Guess who's back on my block? Rather unique. Bucktown. This. On that quiet storm, T-O-N-Y, top of New York, with a pitchfork.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Seattle Seahawks. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
Get set. Hey, kill.
Now Breeze throwing on second down. And got his man complete. And out across midfield down to the 45. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan, and able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Rashad Penny, first carry for the former San Diego State Aztec. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
95.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Zebra. Right, 380. Hang out. Bam. 36. Check 50.
They snap it at 1. Now Wilson. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
So after the INT, it's Breeze. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Henry Anderson in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. From the gun, it's Breeze. Flushed out right. Now Breeze lost the football, and the Seahawks have recovered. And now we get a look at Breeze, who is slow to get up. Let's hope he's okay. We'll check on his status when we get back. And out now come the Seahawks. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They go play action with Wilson. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions. but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you. An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
To throw is RG3. Steps away to his left. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you, from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season-opener opponent.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, here's Griffin on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Thomas, the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
All right, need you to check my eyes here. This entire unit defensively, I think, has looked really strong in the first half, especially in the secondary. They've been cohesive, fast to the football. We just saw another example arriving there to help knock that one away.
2nd and 10 now. Griffin escaping the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Third and long. It's Griffin. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And Lutz's kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10, right at the 30. To throw is Wilson. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Shotgun. Grenading.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. From the gun, it's Wilson. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And I think I saw that right. You tell me if I'm wrong. That was just a fly route, just to go. He went.
Sometimes speed, just pure speed, is going to win. I don't care how athletic you are on the other side of the ball. When a guy's that fast and he can just take off, if the quarterback has time to throw the ball and release it when he wants to, that's the end result. Nothing you could do about that. He was just a better athlete on that play.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive in with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. On 2nd down, here's Griffin. He's going to let this one go deep into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. P.J. Williams with a pick. And fighting down inside the 25. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. The Saints say they have it, and they do.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. P.J. Williams with a pick, and his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. He was trying to hit Thomas that time.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. Demario Davis there on the stop.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's a give to Penny. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Penny, a first down carry. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. They set up the screen to Penny. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Tempo.
Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And he's got this down to the 35. It's a gain of 17, and it'll give him a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this.
Check 50.
A handoff to Penny. And an alley to run. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back gains of 17, and they are really on the march now. It's a first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Got him in, it's Brown. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with Penny. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So out now is the Seattle field goal team. And his kick is indeed good. And that will extend their lead here to 17-6. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw again, Griffin. Looking sideline, incomplete. Right there in coverage, the veteran Cam Chancellor.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Looking deep downfield. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Griffin. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Throwing again. Griffin. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Shaquill Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. To throw again is Griffin. Trying to lay one up deep. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Well, that came a little abruptly here. Still working on my apple up in the booth. Hang on here, let me spit this out. And we can get to the 3rd quarter now. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Again, it's Penny. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Wilson hit, it's loose, it's out, fumble. The Saints say they have it, and they do.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
this time at the 5-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second and a foot or so.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Again, it's Kamara. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Lutz puts this one through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So it's a 3rd field goal for him now. He's accounted for all 9 points. I look down to the sideline, though. You can just tell they weren't too happy for 3. They wanted 6.
So they have to have 6. Look, he's keeping them afloat, but they really need to do exactly what you talked about. They need to get into the end zone and score some touchdowns. Otherwise, he's going to have to kick a lot more field goals than just the 3 he's already put through the posts.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Got it. Right, Booker T. Gotta go.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47.
Zebra.
From the gun, Wilson. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there, a 22. They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Tackle there going to Marshawn Lattimore. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Rashad Penny, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit. But for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball, too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Barkevious Mingo in that time on the tackle. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, And that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now Griffin on 1st down. And Thomas has it. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Griffin. Over the middle, open is Thomas. 3rd catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
He gets it to Thomas. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Oh, the rookie nearly had the pick. Probably should have had it. 3rd down now. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The Saints on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Griffin will throw again. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Burton. And he will have the 1st down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And now
3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. Once again, Griffin. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Throwing again, Griffin. Dancing to his left. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off down at the 2. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in
Season
December.
of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've got an answer for it.
And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. The Seahawks on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Now Wilson back into his end zone. Eluding the pressure right. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off at the 15. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And now in a 9-point game, they'll still just need to go for 1 here. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through, as this gets him back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This will be taken in at the 1. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 27.
Don't take forever, okay?
Back to the air, Wilson after the pick 6. And incomplete on the deep ball.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. Second and 10 now from the 27. Play action. Now Wilson. Over the middle, complete. That's Cole. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Cameron Jordan. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Now here's Michael Dixon. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field. Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they're through the interception and finish off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. And he's going to be taken down. RG3 couldn't get away, and that'll be a safety. Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. This is taken at the 15. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game. And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves. Yeah, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right? No doubt about it. And let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space. And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. Line of scrimmage moves from one 37-yard line to the other as they come up 1st and 10.
14. Gotta go.
The pitch goes to Penny, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Kalen Ballage, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Running left, it's Penny. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now they'll run it again with Penny. And an alley to run. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. The Seahawks on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now Rashad Penny. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play. And that's going to lead them to 4th down. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop. 1:50 left in the football game. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll run with Penny. Oh, and I think he went backward. He did. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And the Saints will have the football back. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look.
And the pressure getting to RG3. He's brought down for the sack. Robert Quinn in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. From the gun, it's Griffin. Flush to his right. He's going to let it fly. He's got a man complete. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. It's a big play there for the Saints. 48 yards. On 1st down, Griffin. Forced out to his left. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage that's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
From the shotgun, Griffin. Buying time to his left. And now here's another interception. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit. And receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Seahawks, they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things to 14-0. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Arizona Cardinals next week. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they'll drop to 9-5 on the year. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Houston Texans. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
If the squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Yeah. Hey. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Yeah. Hey. 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 Same squad, same squad, same squad. Drop top, coupe, Dodge raindrops. Big back plays on FaceTime. Squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Same squad, same squad, same squad. Drop top, coupe, Dodge raindrops. Big back plays on FaceTime. Squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Same squad, same squad, same squad. Cross move quick like AI. Chain shine bright like daytime. Stack big bread like waist high. I don't do lanes. Lil' watch y'all like 2 chains. I done swerved in a new lane. Bang at the grit, do things. I came up, who I was down with. You change up, stay far from around me. I came up, who I was down with. You change up, stay far from around me. Same squad, same squad, same squad. Drop top, coupe, Dodge raindrops. Big back plays on FaceTime. Squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Same squad, same squad, same squad. Drop top, coupe, Dodge raindrops. Big back plays on FaceTime. Squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Yeah, no it ain't, no it. They ain't talking cash, so I did the race. NASCAR with the pace, Fiji water on the chain. Get no love where I ain't from. When I'm on the beat, I make it thumb. I need that bread like every crumb. Came up from nothing, made it some. I came up, who I was down with. You change up, stay far from around me. I came up, who I was down with. You change up, stay far from around me. Same squad, same squad, same squad. Drop top, coupe, Dodge raindrops. Big back plays on FaceTime. Squad ain't with me, then it ain't right. Same squad,
Look, I defeated my fears, soaked a towel in my tears. So ahead of my time, what comes next are all my oldest ideas. I'm wiser than my check y'all in y'all beard. I'm willing to father my peers, all of my peers for all of my years. Out in the field, take a look at my shoes. Never had a thought that it might lose. Considering the cost, I had to give up my dues. Never got a talk to it like you. I've been feeling like a king for months. We eat all the rich cuisine for lunch. All these wishing he was done. Oh, you tried it, that's a piece of gum. Now, look at me, I'm the captain now. I'm recruiting this year. I be praying for y'all while I'm praying for y'all. Like a lot of views in this year. I hate to do it with no plans. Now I usually get near. Oh, I ask her man, cause I'm the mutant in here. We look good, just show us with the camera. Years ago, I had to up my standards. Make your missus Alabama. Turn it to my only private. Swear like she don't got the answers. Who's the boss? I feel like Tony Danza. Walk up in there like I got the swag. Wakanda swagger, I'm the blackest panther. Wakanda, y'all are wasting our time. I spend it, but I ain't wasting a dime. Might do some favors, but I ain't breaking my spine. Your girl has been calling for days. I get no different ways. That New Orleans parades. Yeah, we like. None of my people are patient. We look like we on a vacation. Get no invitation. Y'all all with it and y'all talk a lot, but y'all ain't got the heart to do the mission. I'm hard-headed like the juggernaut, but there ain't nothing I can do to listen. I'm authentic and I walk around like I just ate, but let you do the dishes. I'm Clark Kent, but mix the Autobots and mix with everything that you've been missing. Please get back and don't get that involved. Freaking sick, I need a pad of walls. I'm the king, heavy crown, heavy rain, cat and dogs. Homie with me if you're asking for it. There ain't much that he be asking for. He just wanna have a paddock on with a watch face with little dragon balls. Look, you don't need me either. All I need is this. No coca ice, and I get oh so polite. You be the man of your city, I'll be the man of my country. You be the man of your city, I'ma be the man of my country. Your girl has been calling for days. I get they know different ways. New Orleans parades, yeah, we like. None of my people are patient.